Hey guys, it's Kirk Ream from Transformation Training and Fitness. Talk to you briefly today about a couple things that you can do within your workout to really get a different experience during your workouts. Now, obviously, within our TTF circuits, we change the intervals frequently, every day, as a matter of fact. So you might be doing 30 seconds one day, 10 seconds off, 40 seconds one day, 10 seconds off. We add in a running clock, 50 seconds running. So we're already changing things up so that you progress. Even if you weren't to do any of the other options that I'm going to give you today, you're still going to progress just due to more reps, more work. But there's 4 ways that I want to talk to you about today that you can really change your workout within the workout, so to speak. So let's get right to it here. The first one is the easiest one, the way people think about it. Not easy in effort, but easy as far as comprehending. So the first one would be adding more weight or adding more resistance. So for example, if you're used to holding a 15-pound dumbbell during goblet squats, we grab a 20 instead, or we grab a 25. Or if you're used to cable squat up rowing with an 80-pound stack, you go to 90 or 100. Something we need to be careful of is in our classes, they're very high paced, lots of energy. You guys do a great job bringing that energy, but we have to really be careful that we don't fall in love with just getting more and more and more and faster reps. That's one way to progress. But another way would be if in 30 seconds I can get 8 reps at 15 pounds, there's nothing wrong with grabbing a 25 and getting 6 reps and making it as hard as I possibly can for 6 good reps. So even though I've done fewer reps, I've actually done more work because of holding the higher dumbbell. So we have to be careful of that we don't just think we need to get more reps. So that's one way. We can grab a heavier band. We can grab a heavier weight. We can grab a heavier kettlebell. And even if we need to slow down our movement, we're still getting more work done. So the first progression, lift heavier. The second progression, and this is one that we do very well, is we go faster. Okay, so once you get the form down, form is always first. But by going faster within a 30-second range, within a 40-second interval, we're going to get more reps in. If we get more reps in, we get more work done. So that's a second progression. So if I'm used to doing 10 reps at 10 pounds, and now I can do 15 reps at 10 pounds, I've improved. I've shown a greater ability to work. I have a greater work capacity. I probably have a greater metabolic conditioning, all those things. So moving faster, getting more reps is the second way. Okay, so you can keep the same weight, get more reps done, or like I said in option 1, grab a heavier weight, but do fewer reps, and then build back up that way. The third one is often one we don't talk about, is one we don't often talk about, is actually moving slower. All right, so if you actually go very slow in a movement, that completely changes how that movement is. So let me give you an example. You're all familiar with push-ups. If instead of doing as many push-ups as fast as we can, which is a great way to do things, if occasionally during the workout you would go down in the movement as slow as you can. So we'd go up fast, push ourselves up fast in the push-up, but then take 5 to 10 seconds to lower yourself down in that movement, in that push-up, you would see a big change in your workouts, okay? So that's called the eccentric part, or the negative. And every movement has a negative part. So there's a explosive part, and there's a negative part, or an eccentric part. So if you were to slow that eccentric part down, that would really change the workout. So moving slower. Obviously, there's certain movements we just want to stay explosive on. Kettlebell swings, jump squats, things like that. Box jumps are explosive, skier swings, push presses. But there's also movements where we can take that negative and really slow down. Jungle gym rows would be a great example, where you pull up fast and you lower yourself down nice and slow. So same thing with the pull-up. That would be another way to change your workout. And then finally, the last one is try a harder progression. So in all our demonstrations, you get 2 or 3, sometimes 4 progressions. It's really limitless to how many progressions there are per exercise. but we can't get caught into doing the same progression all the time. So if we're typically a level 2, one way to challenge yourself and challenge the workout is to try a level 3, even if it's for a couple reps. So if we're doing something for 30 seconds, if we can do 30 seconds of push-ups on our knees, then we can come and try a halvesy push-up where we're lowering ourselves down on our toes, even if it's just for a couple seconds, a couple reps, and then return to level 2. But just by adding in that little change of rep, that little change of progression, that will continue to help you get stronger. It'll change your workout. It'll change your heart rate. It'll change your effort, all those things. Another great example for that is the Jungle Gym row or the pull-ups. So if we're doing those Jungle Gym suspended rows and you're usually at 60 degrees, even if you walk down to 90 degrees for 1 or 2 reps and then have to work your way back up to 60 degrees, you will see a difference and a change. Okay, so all these are little things that we can certainly program into the workout, but also that you can just have the freedom to do that within the workout. So we don't have to say to you, okay, hey, why don't you try to go slower? Certainly we can say that, we will say that, but also after hearing this talk, you can say, okay, today in this workout, in the push-ups, I'm going to go slow on that way down. I'm just going to hold it on the way down, go nice and slow, or I'm going to grab a heavier dumbbell just for a couple reps in those goblet lunges or push presses. I'm going to try a harder progression. I'm going to get more reps. But all these little things you can do on your own, but they will completely change the workout for you. My personal recommendation would be, as we're changing the workouts each day, that you change how you approach each workout. So maybe on Mondays you're feeling fresh, come in, make that a heavier day for you. Grab heavier dumbbells, grab heavier bands, do less reps. If you're back in Wednesday, then let's make that a speed day. So then you would grab the slower or the lighter bands and go for more reps and be faster. The next time you come in, maybe it's a slow workout where you're really concentrating on that negative. Maybe the next time you come in, you're doing a harder progression. Now, keep in mind also that these things will kind of work together. So if you're trying a harder progression, you're actually going to be moving slower, which is going to make the workout harder in itself. Okay, so a lot of these things kind of cross over each other. But keep those things in mind. Make those changes. If you feel like you've hit a little plateau, if you feel like you're not quite as making the results as quick, you're getting your goals as quick as you were, make some of those changes. Also, it's just good to challenge yourself different ways each time you come in. So hope you enjoyed that. Hope it's helpful. Let me know if you have any questions, and we'll see you next time.